This is Dan Abrams, and he has a radio show. And this man called because his father-in-law was in the path of the one of the hurricanes, and his father-in-law wouldn't accept FEMA funds, wouldn't apply for FEMA funds because of Trump and the MAGA people spreading misinformation and disinformation. And the fact that Trump loves these low information voters who don't check anything, just believe Trump and in Fox News, it's amazing to me. It's like these people really believe these liars, and especially the people that have news media that keep putting out this misinformation and disinformation is harming people. But this man on this radio show really tried. He really tried it with his father in law. But someone like me is just like, okay, I mean, if he wants to expire because he believes misinformation or disinformation from Fox News, for me, it's just like, okay, he won't be available to vote. But that's me being cold because they believe Trump's lies, despite the fact that it has been shown that he has lied to these people time and time again.
My father-in-law lives just outside of Asheville, North Carolina, and he was badly damaged by Hurricane Helene. And he has refused all FEMA help because he's a hardcore Trumper. And he literally believes that if he accepts anything from FEMA, they're going to take his house. I don't understand how so many people are under the spell of this freaking con man. I don't understand it.
Well, it's absolutely heartbreaking about your father-in-law. I'm so sorry to hear it. I hope.
Man, it's hard to even imagine it. I mean, he lost almost everything, and he's refusing all help from the federal government and complaining to us that he doesn't have food, that he doesn't have the stuff he needs, and yet he won't accept the help. What the hell are we supposed to do? We're not in a position to be able to fly across the country and help him. Yeah. There's people begging us to get him to accept help, and he won't do it.
Wow.
And I guarantee you, I'm not the only one. I guarantee you, I'm not the only one.
I wish there was something I could say as to, I don't know. Does he have access to any electronics where you could send him some information debunking this, and that he might?
We've done all of that. We've done all of that. We've sent him all the FEMA bulletins. We've sent him all the stuff from the fact checkers. He doesn't believe it. He thinks he just believes Trump. Literally, Dan, it's a cult. He's a cult member. I'm sorry to say it. He's a cult member. And he's my father-in-law, and it sucks.
This is the FEMA website. They put out, rumor, FEMA will only provide $750 to disaster survivors to support their recovery. This is false. This is the type of assistance that you may be approved for soon after you apply, called Serious Needs Assistance. It is an upfront, flexible payment to help cover essential items like food, water, baby formula, breastfeeding supplies, medication, and other emergency supplies. It is not a loan. There are other forms of assistance you may qualify for to receive, and Serious Needs Assistance is an initial, that means upfront, that means the beginning of the process, an initial payment that you may receive while FEMA assesses your eligibility for additional funds. As your application continues to be reviewed, you may still receive additional forms of assistance for other needs, such as support for temporary housing, personal property, and home repair costs. If you have any questions about your disaster assistance application and what you qualify for, contact us at 1-800-621-3362 to speak with the FEMA representative in your language. This is the type of money that you need to get out of the way of a hurricane. This is not what you need to fix your home or replace your car. And the fact that these people would rather stay in the wake of a hurricane rather than to ask for this assistance because of their liar, the liar and the head of their cult, is amazing to me. But I mean, if they don't want to be around, if their loved ones have helped them, if their loved ones have given them this information and they still choose to stick and stay with this man who is not going to be anywhere near a hurricane, that is on them. And once again, one less Trump supporter voter. Even Republicans are getting irritated. Republicans in Congress call out hurricane misinformation coming from within their own party. Republicans are fighting a war against misinformation to keep their constituents safe as they brace for Hurricane Milton to make landfall in Florida, including being willing to point the finger at members of their own party and their presidential nominee. The Category 4 storm is forecast to touch down overnight Wednesday. Obviously, this is beforehand. Even while across the South, residents continue to recover from Hurricane Helene, Republicans in the path of the hurricanes have come out forcefully against those in their own parties, pushing debunked conspiracy theories which could put people in danger. Republican Representative Carlos Jimenez of Florida called out Georgia firebrand Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene on Wednesday, telling her to get her head examined for suggesting someone is controlling the weather. Last week, Greene, without specifying who they is, posted, yes, they can control the weather. It's ridiculous for anyone to lie and say it can't be done. Jimenez on CNN this morning with Casey Hunt added, there's no place for misinformation, especially when it's on purpose at times like this. There is a time for misinformation because that is what Trump banks on. He banks on the low information people. He banks on these unintelligent people that believe anything that he says. You can look outside and look at this tree and say it is green. You'll say it's green, but if Trump says it's purple, they're going to believe it Trump because that is who they are. It is a cult. There is a place for misinformation because if they were a party that actually liked smart folks, they wouldn't have put Trump in charge of their cult to begin with. But like I said, the people voted for people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. They voted for her. They voted for her despite all of her wackiness. So yes, this is who they are. All right, before joining Congress, Jimenez was a career firefighter, paramedic, and managed natural disasters as the former mayor of Miami-Dade County. Greene has stood by her comments, posting a meme and a link to a Gateway Pundit article she says backs up her claim. Republican Representative Chuck Edwards, who represents storm-ravaged Western North Carolina and has been on the ground assisting with recovery efforts, felt compelled to send a letter to his community, fact-checking a number of the outlandish conspiracy theories. Amidst all of the support, we have also seen an uptick in untrustworthy sources trying to spark chaos by sharing hoaxes, conspiracy theories, and hearsay about hurricane response efforts across our mountains. I'm here to dispel the outrageous rumors that have been circulated online. Nobody can control the weather, Edwards stated, appearing to refer to his colleague Greene's post on X. Republican Senator Mitt Romney of Utah also attacked former President Donald Trump for spreading disinformation, including about FEMA. Former President Trump told us that the people in Springfield are eating dogs and cats, all right? He likewise said that FEMA money, our emergency money, instead of helping the people that are being hit by the hurricane, is being used to help illegals. He just makes it up. So he is able to spew enough disinformation that the Chinese must be smiling. When it comes to a holiday from the truth, he's taken the longest vacation. Trump, who has repeated baseless lies and distortions about the federal response, falsely claimed money earmarked for disaster aid has been given to migrants. Then you have a FEMA representative coming to just try to speak to the public on CNN.
And FEMA's even launched a webpage to correct the record on the rumors that are swirling. But last night, Donald Trump continued promoting another false rumor about FEMA.
His accusations are just completely false. I think the first thing I would say is just because you don't see somebody on the ground in a FEMA shirt doesn't mean we don't have people there. We have people that are embedded in the State Emergency Operations Center. I have teams that are walking around neighborhoods. I have teams that are embedded with all of the county EOCs. people are on the ground, but we're also bringing in resources, and it's not just FEMA. We are one part of the federal family. We have over 3,400 members from across all federal agencies in North Carolina helping to support this response. We will continue to bring in more resources as we go into the recovery and the long-term needs that these communities have. Kate, we really have just got to stop this rhetoric, because what it's doing is it's putting fear in the people that we're not going to be there to help them. And I worry that they won't register for assistance with us and get access to the critical resources that they are eligible for.
Misinformation is beginning to take a toll on hurricane responders and survivors alike. The head of FEMA said Tuesday, as another massive storm headed for the southeast. FEMA Administrator Diane Criswell said the swirl of false conspiracy theories around Hurricane Helene is dissuading survivors from seeking help and hurting morale amongst the responders. The people are there on the ground working, but you got people like Donald Trump and his mouthpieces like Fox and all of the alt-right people that spew disinformation, misinformation, and just outright lies that are hurting their own people. So I don't know what to say about it, but I know that the people who have family members that have bought into this cult still care and want to help these people. But like I continue to say, it's one less Trump supporter if they do expire because they simply refuse to take the money. Y'all let me know what you think.